Right now, in your pocket, your bag, or maybe even in your ear, a small device is quietly emitting invisible radiation into your body. This instinctual distrust of what we cannot see was first tested at a high-stakes geopolitical scale in the early 1950s. In 1953, American diplomats in Moscow discovered their embassy was being deliberately irradiated. The Soviet Union was secretly beaming low-intensity microwave radiation at the building's upper floors, triggering a genuine diplomatic crisis and a hunt for its purpose. The United States Defense Department responded with Project Pandora, a classified effort where scientists exposed primates to microwave frequencies matching the Moscow signal to determine if the radiation could degrade human health or mental performance. This situation became a diplomatic flashpoint, leading Secretary of State Henry Kissinger to personally press Soviet officials to stop the transmissions. At the same time, internal records show American officials were privately uncertain if the radiation posed any real biological threat at all. The Moscow signal established a cycle of public fear that would repeat with almost every subsequent wireless technology, from microwave ovens in the 70s, cell phones in the 90s, to Wi-Fi routers in the 2000s. Each new device became a fresh target for a decades-old pattern of scientific uncertainty meeting high-stakes anxiety. Resolving that anxiety requires the one piece of physics most headlines leave out: the distinction between ionizing and non-ionizing radiation. Ionizing radiation, like X-rays or gamma rays, carries enough energy per photon to physically knock electrons out of atoms. This is the well-established mechanism that allows radiation to break the chemical bonds holding a DNA molecule together. Radio frequency radiation, the category including Bluetooth and Wi-Fi, operates on a completely different energy scale. A single photon from a Bluetooth earbud carries roughly 1,000,000 times less energy than visible light, making it physically incapable of breaking chemical bonds. At extreme intensities, the only proven biological effect of radio frequency waves is tissue heating. It is the same basic principle by which a microwave oven cooks food. This difference in physical mechanism means your wireless devices lack the energy required to cause the direct molecular damage that leads to cancer. Regulators monitor this exposure using specific absorption rate, or SAR. In the United States, the FCC limit is set with a substantial safety margin, keeping consumer exposure well below the levels where measurable tissue heating even begins. This chart highlights a significant gap in power output. A typical Bluetooth earbud transmits at roughly 2.5 milliwatts. A cell phone during a call can transmit at hundreds of times that power, up to 1,000 milliwatts. These differences in power are often flattened in media coverage of large-scale research. In 2018, the National Toxicology Program finished a $30 million study exposing rats and mice to high-intensity radiofrequency radiation for their entire lives. The study found clear evidence of heart tumors, but the result was uniquely isolated to male rats. It did not appear in female rats, nor did it appear in mice of either sex. The study's own senior scientists stated publicly that these lifelong, whole-body exposures at high intensities cannot be directly compared to the localized, intermittent way humans use cell phones. For regulators, these numbers lead to a practical conclusion. Using a Bluetooth headset typically reduces your total radiation exposure by allowing the much higher power cell phone to sit at a distance from your head. In 2011, the World Health Organization classified radio frequency fields as possibly carcinogenic, a weak classification reserved for evidence that could plausibly be explained by chance or bias. It's a category that has included coffee and pickled vegetables. By 2019, headlines stripped away this scientific nuance, reporting that 250 scientists had issued a specific warning about Apple's AirPods. The claim actually pointed back to a general EMF petition from 2015, written 4 years before AirPods reached their modern form, which addressed wireless signals broadly, rather than any specific product. The original petition never even mentioned wireless earbuds, illustrating how easily scientific caution can be repurposed into viral alarm. Major public health bodies, including the American Cancer Society and the FDA, maintain that available evidence does not establish that consumer-level radio waves cause significant health harm. Yet public concern continues to cycle through meme technologies, recently reattaching the same 2011 and 2018 studies to 5G networks, despite those networks having even less tissue-penetrating capability than older cellular signals. The scientific nuance that research remains ongoing acts as a call for continued study, but in the press, it is frequently compressed into a simple, frightening headline. The invisible ripples from your phone and earbuds will continue washing over your silhouette, exactly as they have for decades. Half a century after Project Pandora first forced scientists to study it, the physics separating a Bluetooth earbud from an X-ray machine remains decisive, yet largely missing from the conversation that scares us the most.